Hi, welcome back to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I am Mel-Tran Designs. Today is Wednesday, May 18th, 2016. This is episode 99. Welcome back to returning viewers and welcome to new viewers. If this is your first time, I hope you enjoy it. Grab some needles and yarn and whatever else you're wanting to do, and I hope you enjoy our time together. Let's get right into it. Happenings this week. I went to dog training with Lucy last Wednesday, and that was good. We have just this week and next week left, and then we are finished. It's going quite well. She is almost like she's essentially off leash. She just has kind of a training line that has been running behind her that I've been instructed to cut shorter each day until it's essentially gone. So yeah, and it's been getting me out of the house to go for walks in the evenings, and yeah, it's been enjoyable. That's really all I could come up with that was worth talking about. It hasn't been an exciting week, what can I say? There's just been yeah, not a whole lot. So we did get our air conditioner working. I think that has been since I recorded last. I'm trying to remember what day I recorded. Well, even if I already said it, it's super exciting. Our air conditioner works. We've only had to use it like twice. It hasn't been quite warm enough to need it, and I've been trying to keep the windows open and close them at the right times and whatnot, and it really hasn't been hot. Today it's supposed to get up into the low 80s, but then tomorrow a storm is supposed to come in and it's supposed to only be in the mid 60s. Spring, right? So anyway, yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to bore you with the weather. It's beautiful and sunny right now, and that's all that matters. All right, going on and coming up, going on is the still the unofficial Laura Ayler knit along that Lisa and I are co-hosting from the 90% Knitting podcast. I don't know that any of you care to participate, but I still like her stuff, and she has a new sweater pattern out that, it's sport weight yarn, and you use an accent yarn for the collar and button band, and then the whole bottom band that has pockets built in, and then a kind of a long cuff on the sleeve. It's all an accent color. Some people have done it in stripes or variegated. Some people have just done it in a complementary type of contrast. I know contrasting, but like, one that's a little more matchy but is, a solid. Anyways, so I was loving on that last night, looking at it. So anyways, she has good patterns. You should jump in. The only other thing in this category is Zombie Knit Apocalypse, which I leave for kind of next Friday, which is the 27th. I've told you before that the kids and I are going to head down, well, the three younger ones and I are heading down to the Salt Lake area to stay with a friend of mine. Jake and Anansi will come down the next night. They will come home Monday, Memorial Day, and I will spend one more night there, and then Tuesday morning I will head out for somewhere in Nebraska. That's still yet to be determined, where I will be sleeping that night, and then the next day, Wednesday, I will be finishing my trek up to Rochester, where we will converge upon the Hilton Garden Inn and Doubletree and have a blast. I can't wait. I'm excited to meet my roommates and to see Megan again, and I get to meet Steve from the Dramatic Knits podcast, which will be awesome. I'm looking forward to meeting him in person, and so many people. Can't even list them all. Seeing people who I've seen before and meeting new people, and it's going to be so much fun. And then rushing my way home at the end, get home on Monday the 6th, attempt to go to the chiropractor that week, probably get my hair cut that week, because Saturday the 11th the kids and I turn around and rush off to Kentucky. So okay, not really rush, but anyway, but the next big thing coming up is ZK, and I'm super excited about it, and I will talk a little bit more about that in kind of my shop information that I do at the end, because I have some new stuff I want to talk about. All right, so let's get into the knitting. There's not a lot to show you this week. I mean, there's a lot to show you, but as far as works in progress, not a lot to show you. I talk with my hands, but I'm like down here where you can't see them, so it's kind of funny. Anyway, so maybe I'll just talk with my hands up here by my head and look even funnier than I probably already do when I talk with my hands down here. Or I could just not talk with my hands. All right, this morning I started a new project. Right there are all the yarns minus, let's see, one that fell back behind that green skein, well, that teal skein, looks green on the screen, and that orange one. Those are the two I got from my retreat. All the others are yarns that I bought last year. Most of them I bought at Maryland Sheep and Wool, and they've been staring at me for a whole year, and I was like, you know what, I have got to make something. And I bought 2 skeins of Yowza from the Miss Babs booth, and I finally decided what I wanted to make. It's not a pattern on Ravelry, it's just one that and it's not even one that I'm designing. I'm gonna follow the stitch counts from the Ann Budd top-down sweater book. I'm just gonna do raglan. But what I wanted was what I'm picturing. That's what I have in my brain, and I'll show you the yarn here in a second. What I'm picturing is a loose turtleneck, not a floppy cowl neck. It's going to be a turtleneck, just not one that goes like this. So that sits up and folds over. So a nice tall folded over turtleneck, and then raglan down with, I'm showing you the kangaroo pocket, with a kangaroo pocket. I don't know that I have enough yarn for that plus long sleeves. I will do all of that and then make sleeves if I have enough. If I don't, that's alright, because when you do a raglan, it actually has built-in, I guess, short sleeves, a little bit longer than cap sleeves, but not quite as long as t-shirt short sleeves. So it'll be more of a vest. Yeah, so I'll either have a vest or a long sleeve sweater. I'm fine with either. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just happy that I know what I want to make and that I've started it. So far I've done, this much, and I'm doing the turtleneck part back and forth because I want to do it in 1x1 ribbing, and my 1x1 in the round looks really funky and weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm doing it flat. I did a tubular cast on, so that way when it's folded over, it just all looks the same. I got that, I followed the directions out of my little cast on bind off book that I got from Knit Picks that I showed you last week. And there's a matching bind off for it to the tubular bind off, so I will be able to make the bottom match, which is cool. Yeah, so that's all I have so far. The color is called Believable. These are my 2 beautiful skeins. You can see that they are definitely different, which is why we alternate skeins. This one is so much darker. So I wish both of them were this dark, but that's alright. The dark will still come through, and it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. My favorite colors, teal and turquoise and grays, and it's just beautiful. So I'm using size 7 needles. These are some of my Diacraft. I cast on 100 because I figured that was a good amount, and I even I held it up around my neck, and I know it'll loosen up, and so see, there's plenty of room. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, because usually when you start a sweater at least the raglan ones that I've made, I should say, they have you build up a little bit. You work back and forth and kind of build up the back before you join it in the round. So my plan for incorporating that shaping, because I like that shaping, into the turtleneck is I'll do the neck part, and then because I want the seam to be in the back, I will then join it in the round and essentially work short rows, following the pattern as if it was just back and forth, but instead of, when you get to parts where you would cast on for the front, I'm just going to pick up, add more stitches, and then eventually go in the round. If it gets to the point where I'm going too far, without building onto the side, I think, yep. Oh, Anansi just messaged me. Anyways, she goes into computers and always says hi to me, so anyway, yeah, if it gets to be going too far, then I'll pick up here and there. I'll adjust. Like I said, I just put on the 100 stitches. I don't know how many I'll actually have to mess with, later on. I'm not worried about that part. I just knew how many I wanted for the neck, and I could get started doing that. I haven't even swatched. I'll do that later too. I'm not worried about it. I just wanted to start it because it's so pretty. And it's going to take a while because I'm going to have to do like 8 inches of ribbing. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. It is, like I said, Yowza from Miss Babs, and I had the tag. I made sure to grab it so I could have the colorway, but it must have fallen off. Oh, here it is. Ow. Hey, don't do that. You just came right up in my way. Look at that. Messed up my hair. Back off just a little bit. Jeez. People. Okay, anybody else probably would have been embarrassed. I don't really care. Talk about embarrassing. Let me tell you an experience I had on Sunday. So the lady who usually leads the music, I've been filling in for her the last couple weeks, and we were doing this song that so we sing out of a hymnal. I'll do this in a second. So we use a hymnal to sing out of, and this song, it was the one page, and then the chorus was over on the top half of the right page. But when you got to the bottom of the page, it was like it ended. So I remembered to go on the first 2 verses because there was still another verse, but the third verse, it ended, and I cut it off, and I turned to start walking away, and then the organist kept playing. I was like, ah! Luckily I hadn't closed my book, so I just turned back around and started. Anyway, I wasn't too embarrassed. I've been on the ward too long. We've been here for 10 years in this same one, and people have known me for that long, and whatever. So I just kept conducting, and then I sat down, and one of the ladies sitting up there, I turned around and I said, "That was a weird song," and she's like, "That was a weird song." So it wasn't just me. Anansi I asked her how her day was going, and she said her friend was laughing while taking a drink, and so she spit it out in her hand, and her face was all sticky. I'm guessing she went like that, and her face was all sticky, and it looked like her eye was peeing. Oh, to be 12. No, really not, but anyway, so there you go. So hid my head, not even embarrassing after that. Plus, it takes a bit for me to get embarrassed, because you all are my friends, and I don't get embarrassed with my friends. Because you can all laugh together, and I'm sure you've all bonked your head funny places and done silly things, and maybe you should tell me about it in this week's episode thread. You should tell me about silly things you've done. Alright. Yeah, it was a 100% superwash merino wool, 560 yards, 8 ounce skein. There you go. All right. Next, I'm going to take a drink really quick. I made some more ginger tea today. This isn't it. Oh, I did have somebody ask me, and it was Coggy, and I was like, I'll just call you and tell you, because should I just tell you really quick how I make my ginger tea? Because she specifically asked, and you guys might be interested too. I'll just tell you really quick. Another tangent. So, peel the ginger. I buy organic ginger. I don't buy organic anything really, because I can't afford it mostly. And some of it doesn't matter as much as others. Hey, I just looked down. There's a stroller that I was looking for the other day, sticking out from behind the couch. That's why I couldn't find it. Sorry. Let's come back from that tangent to the other tangent. So I buy organic because it's a root, and when you put pesticides on it, it's right there. So, plus, I buy such a small piece that even for the organic, it only ends up being like 30 cents more. And it's only like 50 or 60, 70 cents to begin with anyway. So, for me, the cost doesn't, you know, whatever. Anyway, so bring it home, peel it, and what I do is measure how long it is, because I cook it 1 cup of water per inch of ginger. So let's say your piece is this big. What is that, like 5 inches? So that'd be 5 cups of water, but usually it's like this wide. So I cut it in half, and that's actually double. So it's essentially 1 inch per cup. Yes, 1 cup per inch. That is actually, I know this is bigger than an inch, but that is like half the width too, because they're really fat. If there are any kind of legs going off of it, usually those are an inch-ish, unless they're super tiny. But so those just kind of 1 cup per each of those. So if it was just long and oval, that would be 10 cups, and any of those would be 1 cup per each. Cut it down the middle, slice it thin. I use a knife mostly because with it being as grainy, stringy, not stringy, as coarse as it is, I find that on the mandolin it just doesn't work as well. So I'll just sit and slice, put it in my big pot and let it boil for 10 minutes. Then I leave the water on, I strain out, because I have one of those scoop strainers, strain it out, put it in a pile. It actually cools off really fast. And then I cut those again. I don't cut this way and this way. I don't dice them. I just slice them crossways. So if your piece is this way, you know, you see what I'm saying. Cut those all again, put them back in for like another 10 minutes. Turn off the water and just walk away. Like my water's still sitting there, and I made it, I don't know, a few hours ago. So whenever I'm done, mostly it's to let it cool. You don't have to let it cool, I guess. It doesn't matter. I just walk away from it, because I'm not going to drink it while it's hot. You can. It's good. I just like to drink it when it's cold. So that is essentially a concentrate. So I take that much water again and put them together in a pitcher. Now, you might want to plan, like if you know you only have like a gallon size pitcher, then cut accordingly. Because a gallon is, what, 16 cups? 2 cups is a pint, 2 pints is a quart, so that's 4 cups times 4, 16. Okay, so only do 8 inches worth if you have a 1 gallon container. So put that in, and I'm going to also say I like it really strong. So yeah, do that. And then I have a couple of different sweeteners. I don't use regular sugar in that. I have Truvia, which I am not going to be using any longer, because I wanted something more pure and I was misguided. So I have what's called Sweet Leaf, which is 100% stevia, powdered stevia. You can also use liquid stevia. Here's the thing. Stevia is 100 times sweeter than sugar. So I use just 2 packets in a gallon. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. Trust me, it is. And put it in the fridge. And then I suck that stuff down. Oh man, do I suck that stuff down. It's so good. And it keeps for quite a while. So you could do other things. Ginger and... These guys drove by earlier too with a big old tractor. Ginger and mint go really well together, and like I have mint growing outside, so I'm considering picking some mint leaves and putting them in there. I think that would be really good. Anyway, so there you go. That's how I do my ginger tea. I don't know why. Yeah, I went off because I took a drink, and it's tea. I just took 2 tea bags and threw them in a 2-quart thing last night before I went to bed with 1 packet of the stevia, and have flavored water for today. All right. Tangents. Back to the knitting. The only other thing I have on the needles that I'm working on right now is the sock head hat. Ooh, it's spiraling. I didn't notice that. Ooh, it's kind of spiraling. It like did a change up. That's cool. So, if you'll remember, this was my sock that I was making during my retreat, and it was too big. And this poor yarn has tried to be something 4 different times. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I've been wanting to make a sock head hat. Everybody else has made one. Why haven't I? So I cast it on. Size 1s. For now, on the ribbing, I'm this far. A few inches, 2.5 inches, about. I'm not going to make it super slouchy because I don't have a lot of hair back here. But I'll make it slouchy enough, and I will finally have used this yarn. This is Uber by Highland Handmaids on her regular sock base. I don't remember. Something maple, I think. I don't remember. Sorry. Sugar maple? Sugar maple, I think. So there you go. Alright, now that it took me forever to tell you about my 2 works in progress, because I had everything else to tell you about. Are you ready for my FOs? Okay, so I have to turn. I have this all planned out, because the only way to show you is to go far, far away from the camera. Because I finished 2 blankets this week. Alright, the first one is my 10-stitch blanket. I'll come up close to show you too. I even have a little step over here. Here it is. All done. I went nuts on it this week. I was so close to being done, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna bust this out and finish it and be able to take it on my road trips and have it in the car. Oh, just the thought of that makes me super excited. So I essentially did these last 2 rows. Most of them. So the edging, I just did an applied I-cord all the way around. Gives it some stability. So it makes it so it can't stretch quite as much as it would, but I'm okay with that. I don't need it to be super stretchy, and I like how it gives it that finished look. So anyway, this is a decently heavy blanket. I haven't weighed it. It's all fingering weight, all memories. It's a happy blanket. Ready for the next one? I finished my mini squares blanket. And what I'm going to, well, if I show it to you half and half, then you miss some of the designs. So let's see. I'm still so short. Just bear with me here for a second. Let me show you my messy couch. There we go. Quinn dumped a bunch of clothes on the floor, so I just like grabbed them. Alright. Sorry if I'm really quiet back here. Let's see if I can. Alright, so here's the first part. There you go. My mini squares blanket. Isn't that cool? I love it. Oh, I love it. So now I have 2 fingering weight blankets, which is funny because I hate making blankets, but neither of them were sit and work on the blanket, sit and work on the blanket, 500 stitches across the row. I looked at the 10 stitch blanket and I started it on December 4th, 2013. So 2.5 years ago about. And the mini squares blanket, obviously I started that last year when Lisa started sending out the mini squares, which was March? February? I'm wanting to say it was March, yeah. March of last year. So they both were, you know, ongoing projects. So that's why I was able to work on them and finish them. Now maybe I can actually work on my mitered square surprise blanket that I have neglected. I feel like that thing will never get done. 10 years from now maybe. So anyway, there's my FOs. Yay! I love the mini square, the minis one. Oh, the bounce, Lisa's bounce base is amazing, and a whole blanket out of it is just cozy. I was going to put an edging on it, but then I was laying with it on me last night and I was like, no, it has an edging around each of the squares from the yarn over increases. I'm good. I'm good. So, alright. Moving on, I do have a couple of acquisitions that are semi-knitting related. This one's not. I hosted a 31 party, as in my friend sold 31 bags at the retreat and I got the hostess benefits. So I was able to get this fold and file bag, which was spend I don't know, 35, get that for X amount. And then with my hostess credit, I got these 2. They're called Little's Carry-All Caddy. It's a square. I just haven't pulled them out yet. I'll just pull one out so you can see how it looks. The other one I'll show you then. I don't know why I haven't pulled them out. I just don't have a use for them yet, so I figured I'd keep them flat. So it has this cute little handle. This stripe fabric I fell in love with. Preppy Pop, that's what it's called. I fell in love with it when it came out in this catalog, so I was able to get that, and then also the same square but with the anchors. And then I also got, for my half price item, I got this awesome tote. It has some pockets there, and it zips in the top, and it has an inside pocket, and this is going to be the bag I use when I'm vending. It's going to carry all my stuff in it, and I actually kind of moved into it yesterday. I was working on getting some stuff together and moved out of the other bag I'd been using, which is essentially the same bag. Like, it's the same size and everything, has a flip top, but it's a thermal. I didn't want to use that because this one has the pockets and stuff. So anyway, so there's that, and it has stuff ready for ZK in there. And lastly, this was my big Hostess. There are Hostess exclusive bags, and this is the one that I got. Oh, I love it so much. I don't remember what it's called. Usually these bags are going to be coming out in the next catalog. So if you like 31 bags, check this out. Let me give you some size perspective. It's huge. And I am so in love with it. It has become my new knitting bag. It has this nice hidden cell phone pocket here. And then on the inside, it has pockets on both ends here. And then also a pocket here, a double pocket. And underneath these little flaps here, it has snaps. I'm not sure what snaps in there. I need to ask my friend. But don't you love that inside? The polka dots? They're great. So, anyways, there's money in the corner there. I took some lotions up to Sweet. Oh, I went to Sweet on Saturday. I guess I could tell you that. I took some lotions with me and sold them. So, I found my the two needles I used for the applied eye cord. I don't want to forget to put them away, so I figured instead of standing up, I would just go ahead and grab the zipper case. Alright, that's all my acquisitions, and last thing to tell you about is some lotion. If you want to buy some, it's keeponwithlife.bigcartel.com. I have a new scent. I put together patchouli and cinnamon, and it smells really good. Patchouli is not, it's one of those scents that people love it or hate it most of the time. I don't love it, and I don't hate it either. It's just a very earthy scent. And anyway, I know I've talked about this before, as far as that goes, the patchouli. Did I tell you about the cinnamon? I don't think I had put the cinnamon together yet, have I? Oh, maybe I did. When did I record? No, I hadn't recorded yet. Alright, well, if you've already heard this, then whatever. I made more. Either way, I made more this week. So I have patchouli cinnamon, and it smells really good. So I sold some of those this weekend, and I plan on having that with me. I'm also working on a special ZK scent. I need to go get the other component of it today. See if I can make that work out. So yeah, I've been putting over on my table, it's just covered in lotion stuff because I pulled everything out of the totes and whatnot from Christmas because I haven't vended since then. So I've been pulling stuff out, figuring out how much of each thing I want to take. I need to make more scent labels, signs, and also labels that I'm getting ready to print out. Anyway, it's coming together, so I'm super excited. Super excited. It'll be so much fun. And I get to share a booth with Girl Cave Bags, and she was showing us pictures. And I'm so glad that I'm going to be there when she's unpacking, because I can just say, that one please, and that one please. Oh, because I love her bags, and I want one project bag, and she has the, oh, and like this is a Girl Cave bag. I have only bird bags, and she had from her, and she showed a bird pattern, so I will be getting that one. And she has those snap bags that you put your double point needle sock projects in, and so I will be getting one of those too. I will be getting rid of bags because I don't need any more, so I will be going through and figuring out which ones I don't use and passing them on to new homes in order to trade out for the new ones. Yay! Alright, that's all I have for you today. 35 minutes is not horrible. Let's see if I can get my mouse over here. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you get as much done as you need to and want to. And yeah, until next time, keep knitting. Bye.